What if I told you some of Hollywood's biggest action stars weren't just pretending to be tough, they really were tough? These actors didn't just play heroes on screen. They lived through real danger, real pain, and real battles. And when you find out who number 4 is, you'll be shocked they even made it to Hollywood at all. Let's count down the 10 toughest actors in Hollywood history. Starting with a guy who looked like a schoolboy but fought like a warrior. Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin looked calm and cool on screen, but he was the real deal. He fought in the Pacific during World War II and was badly wounded in the Battle of Saipan. He earned a Purple Heart but hardly ever talked about it. When you watch him in The Dirty Dozen, it's not just acting, it's a man who's seen the real thing. Charles Bronson. Bronson was born tough. One of 15 kids, he grew up poor and started working in the coal mines at just 10 years old. Later, he became a bomber gunner in World War II and was injured in combat. He didn't have to act tough, he just was. One co-star said, Bronson didn't play a tough guy. He was a tough guy. Audie Murphy. He was only 5 feet 5 inches, looked like a teenager, but was the most decorated American soldier in World War II. At 19, Audie Murphy held off a whole company of German soldiers, while wounded and running out of ammo. He earned 28 medals, including the Medal of Honor. Later, he starred in To Hell and Back, playing himself. People thought he looked too innocent for the role. But Murphy was the real thing. Steve McQueen. McQueen wasn't just cool, he was fearless. He did most of his own stunts and raced cars and motorcycles in real life. One time, he even raced with a broken foot in a cast. And when he found out the Manson cult had him on their hit list, he didn't hire bodyguards. He just carried a loaded gun. That's McQueen for you. Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas fought his way out of poverty and into stardom. He was a competitive wrestler before becoming an actor and served in the Navy until a medical discharge. In his 70s, he survived a helicopter crash and went through painful rehab, then returned to acting. That's mental toughness at its best. John Wayne. The cowboy legend didn't just look strong, he was strong. He did most of his own stunts, even after losing a lung and several ribs to cancer. During one scene, he cracked his ribs falling off a horse, but kept filming anyway. That's serious commitment. James Cagney. Cagney was small but fast, and a real-life boxer. He grew up fighting on the streets and brought that fire to his roles. In The Public Enemy, he smashed a grapefruit into a co-star's face, for real. He once said, "You either learn to fight, or get used to being on the ground. I preferred standing." Robert Mitchum. Mitchum had a tough life before fame. He was homeless during the Great Depression, served time on a chain gang, and later got arrested for marijuana. Through it all, he stayed cool. He said, "I kept the same expression for 40 years, and it worked." That laid-back toughness wasn't an act, it was who he was. Anthony Quinn. Before movies, Quinn did it all: boxing, construction, even butchering. He broke his nose in fights and kept doing his own stunts well into his 60s. But he wasn't just muscle, a co-star once said. He had the body of a warrior and the soul of a poet. Charlton Heston. Heston served as an aerial gunner in World War II. Later, he trained like an athlete for movies like Ben-Hur, and even painted ceilings himself for the agony and the ecstasy. He stood up for his beliefs, even when it was unpopular. He had strength, both physical and moral. These guys weren't made by Hollywood. They brought their strength, courage, and grit to Hollywood. War heroes. Fighters. Survivors. They didn't just play tough, they were tough.